world on fire. Been shit to drop it, the bitch been tired. Stay locked down, tryna hide from the virus. Tryna live life in this world that's dying. Watching my diet, physically, mentally, spirit of a lion. Queen of the jungle, living in violence. Money coming in my hand like ivory. Counting every dollar, now I'm hand sanitizing. Rap bitch, real rap shit. Write a big check, but my ass gon' cash it. Always knew that I would be the last bitch laughing. Seen what I saw, you will break your glasses. Life full of madness, life of a bad bitch. Everything I touch turn gold like a chalice. Give my ass a kiss, turn a fraud to a prince. Gray sweats, no print. Why the fuck you got a magnum? What happened? Like to talk big game, no action. Post big captions. Stop capping.
Welcome to the 10th episode of On a Mission, the interviews. Today we got Chelsea Pastel with us. What up, Chelsea?
Yo, what's up?
We just working.
We are working. Indeed.
Yeah, so like, how's everything going lately?
Man, everything is going really great. Like, I can't really ask for too much better right now. Like, everything's going up. You know, I celebrate the little wins. I celebrate the big wins. So we're up right now.
I know that's right. And you just dropped your latest visual, Stop Asking. Congrats on the release.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, Stop Asking is doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up some speed, you know, getting around the airways and getting people in the vibe for the summertime.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah, it looks like you had fun putting this visual together. You and your homies was just vibing out, enjoying life, I seen.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had, you know, some of my friends up there. One of my friends literally was my friend my whole life. So, you know, I pretty much felt at home with the whole thing. Like, we just put it together. It was a real fun shoot, to say the least. I haven't shot a video in a long time, so that was my first video shoot in a long time. So if I was going to come back into it, that's the way I wanted to do it, you know.
Yeah, run it up for sure. What was you feeling when you put, like, Stop Asking together? Like, what was going through the creative mind of Chelsea Pastel?
It's pretty interesting. So I just graduated from college, and I kind of took a little break on music for a second just to get that last semester kicked out, you know? So that I felt like everything was just kind of built up as far as just wanting to put out some music.
Yeah.
And we've been dealing with the pandemic. So, like, I don't know, I felt like rapping about it, you know? I felt like bringing some fresh vibes for sure. Like, things have been kind of, like, sad and damper just with the pandemic and everything that was going on at the time when we made it. So I just wanted to bring some different energy, some fresh vibes into the new chapter of life that we're heading into. You know, things are opening back up. Mm-hmm. Things are moving, you know, things are starting to actually move right now. So I kind of wanted to make some music ushering into that. So, you know, just bring some fresh vibes for, you know.
Yeah, for sure. He was like, you said, ever since lockdown, shipping coal like Aspen.
Literally, though, man. Lockdown killed everything.
Man.
Killed everything. So, you know, like, a lot of people were trying to keep up. I felt like a lot of people were trying to keep up with facades still during that time where it's just like, you ain't got to do all that. Like, shit's been slow for everybody, so it's cool, you know? So that's kind of what I was riding off of when I made that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with parking it for a minute.
Nah. I mean, we had no choice. I mean, you could still make music and whatnot, but it wasn't like we could move the same exact way at that time, you know? I had a bunch of trips. Everything got canceled. Everything got shut down. Everything got slow. And I guess that's the first time that's happened in so long. Like, I know pandemics happen like once every 100 years or something like that. So it just happened to be our generation. But, you know, we got through it, and we're getting through it. We're still in it. But, you know, I just felt like it was a weird time for a lot of us, like, especially people who move fast, who live fast. Like, shit really did get slow for a second, and nobody really knew how to process it.
Yeah, like, we really didn't know what was next type deal.
Exactly.
Like, that shit was whack.
Yeah, and it, you know, couldn't do shows, couldn't really go to clubs and whatnot for a second. Eventually, that stuff opened back up, but, you know, as far as an artist, you know, shows are our bread and butter. Shows are how we really connect. So, you know, it kind of put everybody into a different space where we had to go more virtual with everything, which was cool, but shit definitely got slow. It got cold.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. Like, so what's your creative process like?
So it depends. I have kind of like two ways I go about it. So I do produce. So I could either start off with making the beat, or I could hear a melody in my head and kind of like record the melody and make the beat around that. In this case, my homeboy Pastel made the beat, aka Cash G Productions. He made the beat. So like, I don't know. I just vibed off the beat. You know what I mean? His beat brought that whole verse out. You know, just brought the whole song out. But usually, I kind of just write about my life. You know, as rappers, like we talk our shit. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, a lot of my verses that I actually rap about are just kind of like my day to day. You know, I rap about actual shit that I'm dealing with, going through, but I just make it cute and put a bow on it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, and it's like your lyrics is real catchy.
Yeah, thank you. And I also like, one thing that I keep in mind when I do make songs is I don't want to exclude anyone. So like, I kind of make my songs where everybody can relate to it. Guys, girls, you know, pretty much different age groups. Like, we all go through similar shit. So I kind of just build my songs around real life situations, working 9 to 5s, just trying to get through the next day type shit. You know what I'm saying? We all go through that. So that's kind of how I build my songs. I just want people to be able to connect and relate to it.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that. Like, people definitely feel your music for sure.
Thank you.
What's your biggest takeaway during your music career so far?
My biggest takeaway right now, I would say, is time is a facade. That's something that I'm kind of really like tapping into. I think with like the recent day and age, they kind of have this thing where you feel like you have to work super fast right now, you know, and you actually don't. You just have to work your shit. You know what I'm saying? So I put out Stop Asking in March, and I feel like now it's just starting to actually pick up some traction. Now I'm getting put on playlists. Now I'm in radio rotation. But if I would have based it off of how I was feeling earlier, when I felt like I had to keep putting stuff out, or I had to like work a certain speed, I would have been on to the next one already, and on to the next one. Where I have other songs ready, but if that one's still growing, I can still grow it, get everything ready. You know, I'm not working on anybody's clock but my own right now.
Right.
And that's my biggest takeaway. I think we all have this like false sense of urgency with putting out music and whatnot, and it works for some people. Some people could drop a song every week. Some people could drop a song every month. Some people could drop a song every quarter, you know?
Yeah.
But I just think, you know, you need to work within your comfort and work within what works for you versus trying to keep up. So that's my biggest takeaway right now, is working for what works for me.
Cause you've been making music for like some years.
Yeah.
Like,
I got a lot of music that I never even put out. You know, I'm actually just starting to tap into my older music, and you know, I've been shooting a lot of videos and whatnot and just getting everything ready for rollout. But, yeah, like, also, you know, I think music, another takeaway is that if you make really good music, it's timeless. Like, that shit, if you make something that's real good, you could put it out a year from now. You could put it out 2 years from now. It's going to catch because they never heard it before. You know, so I don't really try to get wrapped up in the trends sonically as far as trying to keep up with what's out. I just make music, make good music, you know. So that's just been my focus, is just to make good music and shoot my shot with different opportunities with it versus overthinking the actual BS of it. Like overthinking, well, maybe it should sound like this. Maybe it should sound like that. Like I'm in the moment right now. So that's my whole thing. Like,
okay.
Definitely in the moment right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like, I seen you made it on the new Midwest Apple Music playlist. Man, what was that moment like when you seen that?
Oh, man, I was super excited. Like, it was actually just like a Sunday with my family. You know, I wasn't expecting anything like that.
Yeah.
We're chilling, and next thing you know, somebody tweeted me. Like, yo, Chelsea Pastel, I see you. And I'm like, what they talking about? So I click it, and then I see that I'm on there. And it's crazy because, like, it was kind of on some manifested shit. Like, I didn't really I definitely wanted to be on the Apple playlist, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get my shit on one of these Apple playlists. But I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to shoot my shot at. I didn't know where to pitch anything to. I didn't even like try. You know what I'm saying? I just literally like walked into it. Somebody happened to hear it and did it, but I don't know how exactly that happened. And that shit, it was really dope. Like, I wasn't expecting it at all, and that was a highlight. You know, I that was on one of my goals to do, and it happened. I don't know exactly how it happened, but it happened. So that kind of changed my belief system too with a lot of things. Like, all right, just keep just focus on the actual goal. Don't worry about how it's gonna happen so much. Just throw it out there what you really want. You know, like I felt like that got manifested for real.
Yeah, like
Spotify, you next.
Coming for him. Hell yeah. Like, you got any family that's into music like you are?
I do. So I actually have a cousin. He's in Detroit. His name is Nick Speed, and he's a producer. And it's funny because, so like my when I always kind of hid the fact that I did music. Like, people knew that I was in band. People knew that I kind of made beats and tampered. But nobody knew how deep I was actually into it. But my family started kind of catching ear about it. And my dad called. I was like, yeah, you should check your cousin out. So I'm like, all right. You know, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about it to this guy. And he's like, your cousin's Nick Speed? So I'm like, yeah. So he's like, man, Google him. I Google him, his wiki pops up and shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck? He produced for everybody. I didn't know that. Yeah. So I reached out to him on IG. He's like, oh man, you Uncle James, you Uncle James' granddaughter? We just start talking for like hours and whatnot. So like ever since then we've been connected. But I don't really have too many family members that are tapped into music. I do have a couple cousins. That are getting into it, like my cousin Ace. But other than that, though, no. But my mom actually is the one who really got me into music. She taught me how to play sax. She taught me how to play synth a little bit and gave me my first synth. So, like, she's the one who opened that whole Pandora's box.
Okay.
You know?
Because, like, you could work with several instruments. As a producer.
Yeah, I played,
like you be knowing.
I played about 6-7 instruments coming up. But I really got into production definitely like early high school is when I got into production. I kind of tampered with it in middle school. Didn't know what I was doing at all. Didn't even know you had software. I used to like use tape recorders and all type of shit. I didn't know. And I want to say that's when Soulja Boy actually started getting hot.
Okay.
And I got him the yeah, he made the beat on Fruity Loops. And I kept hearing about Fruity Loops. So I'm like, I need Fruity Loops. So from there, that's when I actually started getting into production.
MTV was big.
Yeah. And after that, I had a Windows computer at the time, so you could use Fruity Loops, but I ended up saving up from a summer job, getting a MacBook. You couldn't use Fruity Loops, so I had to learn a whole new way of producing and everything, which was great for me. At the time, I hated it, but now it's like it taught me how to actually produce a different way. And the program I used was Reason, and Reason was kind of based off analog equipment. So it was like whenever I did get certain analog equipment, I kind of knew how to use it because of the program that I was using. That makes sense. But yeah, it's some nerdy shit. But yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's crazy. Like, you really have to like invest some time into like learning that software.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Anything really, but
definitely, it's like learning a language. You know, you really gotta learn. Like, some people be like, yo, can you teach me how to produce? And it's just like, I don't know exactly. Like, I don't know even know how I learned. Right. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Piece by piece.
Yeah, like even when I was a kid, like I had all these little keyboards, and I used to just try to emulate the songs that I liked, you know, and try to like make my own versions of them on keyboard. So like it went from that to actually producing songs. And after a while, I did the production thing for a minute. I still do it, but I was trying to do it for other artists. And I wasn't getting nowhere. Like, I was trying to sell beats and all that, and it just wasn't getting nowhere. So eventually I started practicing rapping over those beats. And I got comfortable enough to start recording. So here we are. You know?
Man, it's been a good journey, though.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds like it.
Definitely, like, I have no regrets on anything for the most part. Like, certain things I would have did differently, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. Everything works out the way it's supposed to, is what I'm learning.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's like, and I think that's the great thing. Like, you kind of find, like, your calling through music. Because, like, you can go different routes, and, like, now you're doing producing and you rap, so.
Mm-hmm. And it just kind of brought out, like, it brought me out of my shell. Like, I've always been, like, kind of quiet, but kind of not. You know, I always been kind of, like, on the nerdy girl side, but still cool enough to get by, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, I felt like once I actually started putting out my own music, that put me in a different place that I really wasn't before. It kind of got me out of my shell, and I'm still not all the way out of my shell. I'm still breaking out of it to a degree, but it put me in a different social atmosphere that forced me to have to, like, not be so closed in.
Yeah, like, I think it could be good for a lot of people.
Definitely.
You know, to, like, do that, break out and express yourself through your music.
Definitely.
You definitely got a big name around Cleveland. How does it make you feel knowing that you have a lot of support in the city?
It means the world, man. I remember when I could barely get a damn, like, follow back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, you know, it's a couple people here who I actually even looked up to. So I went to school in Toledo, and that's when I was out there. That's when I really got into it. But when I moved back to Cleveland, it was kind of like starting over. Like, all my friends that I had here, they went to college in different cities, and, you know, they just were in different situations. They weren't around. They had kids, just different things. So it was kind of like readjusting. So when I first moved here, you know, I kind of started back at square one, and it was a lot of people that, you know, I would see and I admire and stuff, you know, and see what they were doing. I'm like, oh, that's dope. So it's cool that, like, a lot of those people I can actually call friends now. And, like, you know, a lot of things that I wanted to do at the time that seemed so out of reach, you know, even just getting radio play, getting in rotation. Mm-hmm. That stuff seemed super far out of reach at the time. But to actually have that happening in real time, it's pretty dope. Like, to say the least, you know, like, people always send me videos of them hearing me on the radio, and it's just like, damn, man, like, the little kid in me lights up when I see that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you know, that's what I wanted. It's happening, so.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. It makes me super happy.
And it's like, yeah, the more, like, you know, people be sharing all your music and stuff, and
yeah, I love watching it.
Cool to see, yeah.
I love watching people enjoy it, like, you know, when you, as an artist, when we make music, you know, we make it and then we kind of scrutinize ourselves a little bit, because it's like, well, you know, you make it, and you be hyped in the moment of making it, but then you start to overthink it sometimes, where it's like, well, I don't know, is it good? Is it this? Is it that? You know, so, like, to just throw it out there and you see it reciprocated back is a really good feeling, you know, and it makes me happy when people are like, yo, man, this song. Like, I've had people tell me it's helped me get through my anxiety, where I suffer from anxiety. So, like, hearing somebody say that is like, oh, shoot, like, that's crazy. You know, that makes me happy. It just makes me happy.
Yeah. Like, and, like, you have a dope vibe. So, like, and you just putting your music out there, and it just, like, you know, it's cool that you're having, like, fun with it. Like,
definitely having fun with it. Like, I wouldn't want it no other way. Definitely want to have fun with it, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, like, so how's the journey been about, like, distributing your music?
It's been interesting. It's getting, like, really interesting right now, but, you know, I kind of just, when I first started putting music out there, I just kind of threw it out there, and I used to send a lot of emails, man. Like, you know, especially back in the blog times, like, certain blogs, they're still popping, don't get me wrong, but there was, like, a golden age for blogs, like, at a point where, you know, like, the blog was kind of like the tastemakers. Okay. You know? Yeah. Now it's more so playlist. But, you know, the journey, I sent a lot of emails. I didn't have no publicists. I didn't have no help for real. Like, I had a friend, though. my dude Baka, he would send some stuff off for me too. You know what I'm saying? My friend Shay, she'd send out some stuff for me too. But we would literally like, we didn't know what we were doing, but we put a press kit together and we would, reach out. And I used to just send genuine messages. I never wanted to come off like a bot. So I'll send messages out to different editors of these blogs, or I'll look up, like I'll see an article on a website that I liked, and I'm like, okay, well, who are they writing about that's like, who on their website is writing about artists like me? And I'll find that person and just reach out directly. And, you send a few messages out like that, but eventually you start getting some responses back. And you you might send something 2 months ago. Next thing you know, you chilling, you pop up on there. So, like, that's kind of been my journey. Like, I done shot a few shots. I done definitely missed a lot, but the shots that do make it be pretty good shots. So, I like right now I'm at the point in my career where I'm my own publicist and everything, you know what I mean? So I put it out on the platforms, and, I reach out to people and let them know it's out. And anytime I see opportunities to get it out further, I take those opportunities. If I see somebody looking to with a great playlist, I shoot that to that playlist. You know what I'm saying? And they mess around and put it on the playlist. Like today, somebody sent me a link on Twitter. Somebody sent me a tweet like, "Yo, we're trying to make a playlist for this magazine." I shot it, and literally within 2 minutes, I was on the playlist.
Dang, that's what's up.
Like it happened so quick. Like I actually have the message feed. Like, so she sent me the message at like 1:40, and by 1:45, I was on the playlist. I just hit them up. I just sent an email like, "Yo, what's up? I saw you tweeted this, and I want you to check this out." It was real genuine. Like, and that's how I always come. That's my approach with everything. I'm genuine about it. I don't just shoot empty shots and just shoot blind shots.
Right.
I hit people up directly, and I'm real direct. I don't really beat around the bush. I'll tell you exactly how I found you and what I want.
And now that you're so invested into the game, and being your own publicist, I'm sure each step is going further. Yeah,
it does get better. And then I noticed like playlists and blogs, they feed off of each other. So you might pop up on one, somebody, and a lot of those people, they're all in the same circles and whatnot. So they might see you on one, next you end up on another, next you end up on another. That's how it kind of seems like it works. So I shoot my shot and see what happens. And, I do a lot. It's calculated. Like, I don't waste my time with certain things. I do what makes the most sense. If I see they're a growing blog or a playlist and they're posting artists that have a similar sound to myself that are like flourishing, then I'm gonna shoot to that.
Okay.
Or I might attract it. It might just happen to come to me. But like however it go, I kind of keep an open mind with a lot of different things. I don't just jump into anything because I don't even want my name on, like, anything now. But, like, I do what makes the most sense. And, like, even with the radio, like, I'm in rotation on 106.1 now. That's iHeart. That's pretty cool. Like, I just shot my shot. I put the song out. I had a clean version. I shot them a clean version. They liked it. That's how I move.
Which song is that?
That's for Stop Asking.
Oh, Stop Asking. Yep. Okay, your latest one. Okay,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how I move with everything. I'm on the radio right now. That's crazy. Somebody just sent it.
That's crazy. Yeah. Hey, I love, it's so exciting to see. And, iHeart being syndicated, And, I admire, how you take a different approach and stay authentic throughout your process. I've always noticed that, and probably for a lot of people, you stand out as really original.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. One thing, the way I base, how I go about music and whatnot is just what I've always wanted as a consumer. So, coming up, I was making beats and getting into music real early. I've always been into it. I've always been intrigued by it. I've always wanted to be an artist. Since Lil Bow Wow, I've wanted to be, in the mix of shit, So, but there were no girls that I related to. It was some, but it was just I couldn't completely tap in all the way just because it wasn't me. So the one thing that I want my takeaway to be from other people is to be able to be yourself, and specifically girls. Like, you know, in this industry, we're pressured to be everything but ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's why I really want to just keep it as authentic as possible, because I want that to translate and to continue on through this industry.
And, like, so that's, yeah, like, and especially, like you said, female artists specifically.
Yeah, man.
They'll
like,
look up to somebody like you.
Yeah, like, you know, like, especially even when I was making beats, like, I didn't really see too many female producers at the time. My influences were the Kanyes, Pharrells, you know, Timberlands, Just Blaze. Like, those were my influences, but it weren't no women. So I found myself in situations where I'm in these studio sessions. I'm always the only girl, not too many girls. It's me or some groupies.
Yeah.
For the guys who were there, you know what I mean? And, like, it was just always weird. So, like, I just want to change the culture of that for the most part, you know, just I'm trying to put on for the nerdy girls, the cool girls who aren't necessarily doing the most. We just cool in our own skin. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. You know, and whatever that means to you, you know, if, shoot, I don't know, like, whatever it means to you to be yourself, that's what I want people to be, you know, and that's the vibe that I want to translate through my music. And just through everything I do.
Yeah, no, that's for real. Like, the fact that, like, you're on a mission, just, you know, put one foot forward type thing. keep rolling.
Thank you.
You got any shows lined up?
I'm getting some stuff lined up. It's not all set in stone yet. It's kind of a weird time. Like, shows are starting to open back up, so I'm just kind of in a lot of talks right now. But you guys will be the first to know when it is.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
Yeah, we'll be watching.
Yeah, you definitely will see it.
We'll be ready to show out.
Right now, my main focus is just getting all the music together that I want to put out, all the videos together, and just everything ready for rollout.
Okay.
Because we got some cool stuff in the work. So
yeah.
I want it all to just, you know, I'm trying to have everything ready. I want to have everything ready to the point where, you know, where I could come up with different things and I'm not in between a bunch of projects or nothing. I'm just trying to get everything ready to go out.
For the rollout.
Yep.
Yeah, because
exactly.
The world's opening up.
Exactly. And we got to open that back up with it. So
yeah, right.
I'm just trying to make sure all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed right now.
Yeah, get people something to go out and look forward to seeing.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. And the stuff we got lined up is definitely some stuff that's worth checking out. So it's gonna be pretty dope.
And you did your thing like in Lorraine. That was the last show I caught.
Oh yeah,
at the park.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, that was cool. That was that basketball tournament.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, that was cool. That was crazy.
That one it started to rain at.
Oh, see, I left before the rain.
Okay.
I left before the rain.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was raining, but so like in one of your songs, you said it pays to be patient because Lord knows I've been waiting.
Yeah.
How do you manage to stay patient?
Man, I struggle. You know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else. Like, you know, you deal with real life. You got real life, and then you got your dreams. So, you know, it's a struggle, but at the same time, I kind of just know what my end goal is and the bigger picture. So I just focus on the bigger picture. You know, on those days where I get a little salty about little things, I got to sit there and reflect. Like, you know, you really got to take account for everything, big or small, that is going on. You know, and I think it's important just to celebrate the small wins as much as the big wins. And that's what keeps me kind of getting through and what keeps me being patient, because there are so many small wins every day. Like, every day I wake up to a small win. Every other day I wake up to a bigger win. So it's just like, that kind of keeps me in perspective. And then even days where ain't nothing happening, it's like something's still happening. You know what I mean? I might get a couple new followers. There's some other people who heard my music. So just little different stuff like that. You know, I got to keep myself motivated too. Like, on times where I get a little down on myself, or I feel like things aren't just moving fast enough, I go through it. But at the end of the day, I just kind of like got to take stock and reflect on what's really happening and what I really want. And I just got to think about where I was at a year ago. I always got to think about that because a lot happens in a year, and a lot has happened in a year. Shoot, a year ago, I was 30 pounds heavier, salty, not really doing that much on the music side. So it's like, got to take stock and you got to reflect, you know? And I just got to reflect. That's how I get through being patient, you know?
Yeah, no,
And I study stories, too. You know, I look at people who came out before me, some of the things that they went through and whatnot, and it's just like, all right, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. Like, keep getting them small and them big wins.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, you got to think, man. And then we're just in this weird social media age where it makes you feel like you're not on time with anything, but really are. It's just people put their highlights on the internet. It's not their day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you can't base your life off of that. You gotta... Yeah, or that's how a lot of people going crazy and a lot of people going broke, trying to keep up.
And it might become a thing, like, where people start posting their L's. Mm-hmm. Like, I might start to do that stuff.
You should. I mean, people need, like... I like transparency, you know what I mean? I love transparency, like... Even what's happening with Coi Leray and her show, you know, I guess it was like a clip going around where it wasn't like the audience wasn't rocking out at that moment. And it's like a perceived L, but at the same time, people just might have not known that particular song or whatever the case may be. But, you know, it was just a real moment. That happens to every artist, you know, but you're not going to see it every time it happens to every artist, you know.
Facts.
But we happen to see it because we got the cameras now.
Right.
And everybody's posting stuff on their phone. So it's just a different age and time where it's just like, you know, you just got to... You take the L's and you take the wins, you know? But, you know, in real life, it comes with both. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you know, they post their wins. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But real life comes with both. And you just got to know how to, like, maneuver through both.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, and, like, anything you like to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, so keep your antennas up within the next few weeks and whatnot, you know, and just tap in. Follow me at Chelsea Pastel on Instagram, Chelsea_Pastel on Twitter. You can tap in with me on my website. You could Google me, Chelsea Pastel, or just type in www.chelseapastel. Stop Asking videos up. We doing numbers on that. We got a lot more coming out, so just stay tuned.
You heard it.
Thanks a lot, man. This is dope.
Ever since lockdown, nigga, shit been cold like Aspen. Stop asking. If I still got a man, if I didn't, shit still wouldn't happen. Stop asking. Stop asking. What happened? Like this all big game, no action. Post big captions. Stop capping. Ever since lockdown, nigga, shit been cold like Aspen. Stop asking. If I still got a man, if I didn't, shit still wouldn't happen. Stop asking. Stop asking. Blowing big bag in the backseat. Clearing my mind from that bullshit that life be too quick to throw at me.